Welcome students to Module 307 Audio Production. In this tutorial we will be using a tool called Audacity to import audio, record audio, sequencing and trimming, and exporting your final project as an MP3 file. I download Audacity from a website called 99.com. It's a secure website. If you scroll about halfway down the page under the media section, you have Audacity right in the middle. Select it and click the big Get Installer button. Download to your desktop automatically. You can see I'm dragging it around right here. And the following thing to do is download a patch for MP3 files that allow Audacity to export your sound files. For that, you can go to this website, lame.bonzo.org, and click on the lame version 3.99.3 for Windows.exe. When you download this, please be sure to install that program right where your Audacity file is. It's usually going to go to Program Files x86, Audacity, and when you download it, it will be right there. And then it will install right here lameencoder.dll. This is the file that you need. So without any further ado, let's identify some of the basic tools that Audacity provides. Up on the top left, we see we have the pause, play, stop, skip backwards and skip forwards, and record buttons. The first thing I am going to do is press the record button so I can record an audio track. In this module, we are going to use Audacity to import, record audio, and export our files as MP3 files. Okay, now let's play it back. Let's see how this sounds. In this module, we are going to use Audacity to import, record audio, and export our files as MP3 files. Now let's find some of the other tools that we are going to use up here right next to the record button. We have the selection tool, which allows me to select a track. Then I have the time shift tool, which allows me to actually move a track and place it anywhere I want to. I'm going to go File, Import, Audio. We're going to say the Indiana Jones theme. Give it a few seconds for it to upload. There we go, and as you can see, it puts it right under my audio track. Okay, up on the top right we have our zoom in button, so I'm going to zoom in on my regular audio. And what I am going to do is delete this little empty space just by selecting it and pressing the delete key. And the same thing here at the end. Delete key. Now what I can also do is take out the very beginning right here, which is also empty space in the other soundtrack. And if I want to, depending on your preferences, I can slide it over or I can keep it right where it is. I'm going to keep it right there, and as I am talking, I am going to select this little section right here, and I am going to dial down the volume. First, I want to see how loud it sounds, so I am going to mute my audio track. Okay, we see that it is quite loud, so I am going to go to the Effects, Amplify, and in the Amplification Decibel level, I'm going to move it down to about -6. Preview. We see it is still quite loud, so I'm going to bring it down about there. Maybe just a hair more. That sounds pretty good. So now I'm going to click OK. And you see it all got very small all of a sudden. That is what I want. So now I am going to go unmute my audio track. I'm going to select it. And I am going to amplify the audio so that it is actually louder. and can stand out clearly.
In this module, we are going to use Audacity.
Maybe too loud. To about there.
In this module, we are going to use Audacity.
I like that. So now we click on Allow Clipping. Okay. And my audio gets loud. Now in this section right here on my soundtrack, so I am going to select this right there. And I am going to add an adjustable fade. Let's say we're going to begin this at about 10% of its regular level. The 10% is for that section right there that I'm mousing over. And I'm going to end right here at that level, 100%. There we go. Now, if we rewind all the way back, let's see how this sounds.
In this module, we are going to use Audacity to import, record audio, and export our files as MP3 files.
There we go. That actually sounds pretty cool, I think. But what I am going to do actually is this little section. Let's zoom in more. This little section right here, I am going to pump it up because you can actually hardly hear it. Right there. Now let's see how it sounds.
In this module, we are going to use Audacity to import, record audio, and export our files as MP3 files.
That sounds much better, much better. So now what I'm going to do is play this to about right here, and I am going to just delete the rest of it. Just select it. It's quite a long track. So select this, delete it, and now let's zoom back in. And right here at the end, I'm going to tell the computer to fade out over the course of, right there, over the course of about 3 seconds. I am going to ask it to fade out. So 12 and a half, we're going to go to about 9 and a half right here. And I am going to say fade out. There we go. Let's see how this sounds right here. Okay, good. Our sound file is done. Now what is left is to export our project as an MP3 file. You will have to tell Audacity where that encoder file is when you go to export audio. It is actually very simple to do. You just follow all the steps that it asks you when you get to the browser window. So now export, and I am just going to place this to my desktop, and I am going to say Audacity file 1. Your tracks will be mixed down to 2 stereo channels in the exported file. Okay, that's fine. And here I am going to say track title, give it the same name, Audacity file 1. Click OK. And it begins exporting my project as an MP3 file. Now if I minimize this, I see right here, I have my Audacity file. Let's see if it actually plays.
In this module, we are going to use Audacity to import, record audio, and export our files as MP3 files.
Those are some of the very basic functions that you will need for Audacity. They are very useful. They're very, very helpful, and they're very cool to play with. This has been a tutorial on how to use Audacity for audio production.